environmental educator as well. And I've also, for 28 years, been involved in shaman experiences throughout the world. So that's part of the work that we're doing here. The issue that I wanted to address this evening is fear, and all of us have fear to one degree or another. Like I said, there was a young man here last evening who spoke of being fearless. Well, I've never been fearless. I've always had fear to work with. And I want to tell you a story about how I had to overcome a certain fear, and how each of us in our life, including in this case, have certain fears, and hopefully we can get beyond those fears. So this story, I've been a cancer patient for 9 years, and for the first 2 years, all I could think about was dying. That's all I thought about, night and day. I would wake up in the middle of the night. I was afraid of dying. And after 2 years, there was a person that I know that was leading a ceremony in Mexico that I wanted to go to. And I said to my wife, Stephanie, who happens to be here this evening, I'd like to go to Mexico to go take part in this ceremony. And she said, okay, fine. So as a matter of fact, it happened to be our wedding anniversary. So we said, okay, I'll do the ceremony, and then we could travel around Mexico a little bit, for our wedding anniversary. So we did that. And we were going to do this ceremony in a desert canyon outside of Monterrey, Mexico. And there were 75 people in the ceremony around a fire that had been built in a sacred way for a specific purpose. And only about 4 of us spoke English. Everybody else spoke Spanish in this ceremony. And in this ceremony, it started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was going to end about 6 o'clock in the morning. And everybody gets a chance to sing. You sing, everybody sings 4 songs, and you go around the circle 4 times, and then the ceremony is concluded. So at that time, we were in a desert canyon. It had been warm during the day, and it got very, very cold at night. And as the ceremony went on, around midnight, some people began to lay down. Some people got into sleeping bags. And the shaman who was running the ceremony kept saying, no, sit up, you got to pay attention. And so what I realized, when people started to lay down, like when we're in a circle, we're a circle of energy. If one of us began to lay down and sleep, all of us would feel the energy is missing. It makes it more difficult to do what you want to do. And I was there. I had one intention: to cure myself of cancer. And I had been in this ceremony many times, so I had a very good focus on doing that, asking the fire for this cure. So we were doing this singing, and then I was taking a Western medicine at that time that would make me very cold if my body got cool, and I was freezing. And there was part of me that wanted to lay down in the sleeping bag because I was freezing. And I said, no, I can't do that. But it got more tempting as more people were laying down. And then in the singing, I was singing songs that are my own personal healing songs that are not traditional in this ceremony. And so maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning now, the circle is beginning to fall apart. I'm very tired, I'm very cold, and all of a sudden, as we all know, that's when the inner voices, those inner demons, come and start talking to us. And they started to say, lay down, get in the sleeping bag. You're so cold, you're gonna get yourself sick, or you're very tired. Why don't you just lay down? And then you're singing songs in English. All these people speak Spanish. They don't even know what you're singing. then you're singing songs that aren't traditional songs. You shouldn't even be in this ceremony because you're not singing the right songs, for this ceremony. And finally, about 5 o'clock in the morning, these demons just kept saying these things. And then finally, the last one said, what if, before that, there was one that said, look, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you've tried all night, you've done the best you can do. Just lay down, this is not working for you. And then the last one right after that said, what if no matter what you do, you're going to die anyway? And that thought stunned me. I didn't know how to answer that question because I had been trying for 2 years now to get the cancer under control, and now this voice is saying, what if no matter what I do, I'm going to die anyway? I didn't have the answer for the question, but I also didn't run from the question, and it just kept repeating in my mind, what if no matter what I do, I'm going to die anyway? And as it kept repeating, all of a sudden, because I was courageous enough to stay in the moment, the answer came. And the answer was, if I'm going to die, I'm going to sing. And I started singing the songs that are my personal healing songs. And at some point, I sang them with all my heart to the point where there was nothing in my world but the songs. I was the songs. And when I finished singing, I was healed. And what I mean by that is, when I finished singing, the fear of death was gone. And I learned that there's a difference between healing and curing. Healing being when we come into balance with our life and our death. We're not worried about anything. We're just concerned about with leading our life the way it's meant to be led, because someday we're all going to die. And so part of my strength was in sitting around this open fire, that the fire was helping me stay focused on what I was trying to accomplish. So this fire here is very, very powerful in a way that we've never been taught in our culture. And over time, you will learn this, and you will learn how to use this fire so that it can help you, during the challenging times in your life. Now, the second story I wanted to tell you was that about commitment to what we are doing. To create environmental sustainability, first of all, is never going to happen, from my point of view, without us as human beings being intimately related with everything else in nature. It's in that connection that the deep spiritual psychic force is created, so that we're able then to advocate for environmental sustainability. Unless we do that, from my point of view, this is just never going to happen, and this school still doesn't teach that. And so part of why I'm here doing these ceremonies is to have people have the experience and gain something from it, to the point where this type of knowledge will be transmitted to the students here. So I have this commitment to come on this campus, to work with the spiritual energy in the land and these trees here, to call them forth to help us out. And I'm going to be here for 4 days. I'm leaving Friday morning after a sunrise ceremony. But there's always a test of commitment that comes. And that test for me came today. After I had meditated for a while, I was trying to figure out what I would do if the police here asked me to leave. Would I leave, or how would I face that issue? And as I meditated today, I realized that I really couldn't leave, because it would be one more experience of somebody being kicked off this land. It would just be the same exact story. So I said, I can't do that. If they want me off here, they're going to have to carry me out of here. And so I made the